All right, so we're here with Coach Richard Hayes of Fayetteville State University. Coach Hayes, coming into second year at the helm of the Fayetteville State program. Where are you now versus where you were a year ago?
Right now, we're still a really, really young football team. As I stated in the media press conference, I said we have 80% of our team is freshmen and sophomores returning. We're bringing in about 40 new guys that are true freshmen. With the nucleus of freshmen we had last year and sophomores, we're still going to be a very young football team. But I still expect us to be a very competitive football team coming up in 2017.
Right. Who are some of your guys? Who are some of your young guys that that you feel are progressing, maybe at pace or maybe ahead of pace where you felt like you wanted them to be at this time?
Well, I have two of them sitting right over here. Stevie Green will be a sophomore. He was Offensive Rookie of the Year last year, a running back. Broderick Cotto, I believe Broderick will be a junior, but he got a chance to play significant minutes for us last year. So those two guys, I'm looking for them to be leaders on the team. Broderick plays defense. I'm looking for him to lead the defensive guys. Stevie is on offense. I need for him to be more of a vocal leader because Stevie don't say much.
Okay. Let's talk about Mr. Green for a little bit. You've been around HBCU football for a long time. Is there a back that you've seen in the HBCU ranks over your years that you maybe, for folks who haven't seen Stevie, that you could compare him to?
Well, I coached a young man by the name of Maurice Hicks back in the early 2000s. He was a very elusive guy, had a great career at North Carolina A&T, and went on to have a great NFL career. Stevie has that potential. I want Stevie to start putting a little bit more work in. He's going off of natural ability right now. But he's starting to understand now if he puts a little bit more time in the film room, a little bit more time in the weight room, he has great things ahead of him.
Right. I saw that you got some, you're in Fayetteville, so you got the security home, but it seems like you branched out really into the other areas. You're hitting that Mallory Creek area that has been a hotbed for WSSU and some of the other schools. Just talk about how recruiting is going year two for you.
Recruiting year two went really well for us. Mallory Creek was one of my pipelines when I was at Winston. And I tried to, bring that relationship to Fayetteville. Did a pretty decent job of that. Dudley High School, who was the 4A state champions in North Carolina. I got 6 of those guys off of that state championship team. I think we got maybe 12 guys out of the Charlotte area. Greensboro was about 10. So we cast our net this year. We went out. We got some very good players from down east around our backyard, and we think those guys will be ready to come in and compete right away.
Right. Now you come from a great legacy in HBCU football. Your uncle, Coach Hayes. Just talk about how often you talk to him and just what what he how some of the things that he's talking to you about, the conversation that you guys are having about your program.
First, I talk to him almost every day. If I need something, I call him, advice or anything. He's my mentor. He's almost like my dad, so I talk to him as much as I possibly can. He talks to me about, managing my staff, how to manage the staff, how to manage the players, making sure that, we're taking care of the players. A couple of times he came out of the stands last year and told me to take Stevie out the game when we had a big lead because I was going to let him run. He said, you need to take him out the game. So, yes, sir, I take him out, So right. I really listen to him. I look up to him, and anything I need, I know he's there for me.
What is the one thing that you guys did last year that you cannot do this year if you're going to take that next step?
We can't start off slow. We can't go 0-5. We want to win our first game, which is our next game, but we have to show up and play very well in those 2 crossover games because I learned last year, you lose the 2 crossover games, you pretty much eliminated yourself from CIAA contention. Even though we were 4-0 in the South going into the last game, they had already locked it up. Right. And even whether or not we went 5-0 or not, they had already locked up the spot for the South. So we're going to focus on coming out the gates fast this year. These guys know what I expect out of them. We have a new offensive coordinator, new offensive scheme, new offensive line coach. So we had a great spring practice. Things went well for spring. We have to shore up our quarterback position. We're going to bring in 5 quarterbacks. Demarius Davis will be he would get the nod right now because he was one of the only ones that went through spring ball. Devin Newsom was hurt during the spring, so I had to give the nod to Davis. But we have a transfer coming in. We have 2 freshmen coming in, so the quarterback room is going to be really full this year.
I know people hush hush about the rosters. Who's your transfer?
I'm hush hush.
Okay. Okay. All right.
But I got a few of them.
Okay. Gotcha. Definitely got to keep
I want to make sure they're in school first.
Right.